Hey, welcome to Big Happy Life, the show that's all about shaping your thoughts and actions so that life feels easier, you get more done, you feel more in control, and you have a bit more fun along the way. I'm your host, Natalie Britt, and this week we're on to episode 16 and we're talking about Team You. Earlier this week, I recorded an episode following an epiphany I had where I woke up and realized that there was this fundamental piece missing in my approach to achieving goals in my life. It dawned on me that I've never stopped to help my mind and my body learn about each other so that they can work together to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. As a result, nearly everything I've done in my life has involved some form of mental pushing, overriding what my body was experiencing, overriding those feelings of stress, telling myself you're not experiencing it, it's in your mind, you're overreacting, keep going, you're on the right track, things are working, keep going. And the only thing that ever really stopped me in my tracks was I had to come down with something. I had to end up completely breaking. That could involve some form of physical illness, so I'd be in bed for a day or two, or just having to slow down and prioritize getting well. Or I'd end up feeling quite depressed and I would just not care about other things. I would just lie in my bed feeling nothing, really. Now, I'm somebody who takes self-improvement, goal achievement, development really seriously. I'm very well read. I spend time every day learning something new, working towards my goals, and helping myself stay physically fit and mentally fit. Yet, I've always done this from a position of disconnect. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do some work. I don't want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My body says, please leave me alone. I'm very tired. And I say, shut up, we've got stuff to do. Let's get up. Now, I realize in the pursuit of our big goals, we have to step out of our comfort zones, which means we're always going to hear those little messages saying, oh, don't. But perhaps those of us who are very ambitious and who want to do a lot of very cool things are getting into the habit of overriding all those signals. So we can't tell the difference between the ones we should be listening to and the ones we can override. And part of the modern rhetoric is exactly that. It's mind over matter. Push yourself. Keep going. But this last 10 days of doing the Wim Hof technique has made me realize that I think there's a stronger approach. What if you could know the difference between the you that wakes up and thinks, oh, I'm just so comfortable, I'd love to lie in my bed, and the you that wakes up and says, nothing you can achieve right now is going to make any better difference than staying in bed and getting some rest? What if you could know yourself to the point where you knew the different signals and you could tell which one to listen to and which one you could override? And then if you do override those signals, to do so with some respect, so you don't end up creating that internal push and fight feeling. I'm sure if I stopped 100 people in the street and asked them, how do you do that? Mindfulness would come up quite a lot. Meditation would come up. Yoga would come up. And we know about the benefits of these practices. But as somebody who does all of these things and who engages in all of these practices, I am certain you can still do so from a place of disconnect. I engaged in those things as a means of inflicting calm on myself. Like I wasn't seeking it for my body or for my subconscious mind. I was using it as a tool to get them to line up so I could go off and do the things I wanted to do. So what I'm realizing is that if the goal is to understand ourselves better, to understand our minds, the way we think, to understand our feelings, our emotions, where they come from, our beliefs and what drives them, our bodies and what brings out the best in them, what makes them strong and resilient, what makes our minds resilient. When we ask ourselves these questions and then seek to engage in practices that help ignite all of the best in us, then we're bound to do better. But if we just simply go, okay, well, mindfulness is really cool, I'm going to go do that because it says I'm going to be calm, then it's very easy to engage in things from a position of disconnect and get very little or no value from them. There are amazing habits and practices available to us, loads of cool stuff we can do that will strengthen us, inspire us, get us moving towards all the amazing things we want to do. But until we really understand ourselves and how all the parts of us work together, we don't always know that we're engaging in just the right things for us. So that's the premise of Team You. If you're going to have a big life, you need your mind and your body to be ready for it and to work together to handle all the aspects of your life, which means you've got to know how all the pieces of you fit together, what brings out the best in them, and what habits to engage in to make sure that every part of you gets to communicate well about what it needs, so that you make the most of your strengths, you catch the warning signals early, and you're able to live your life according to the things that make you stronger and better. For me, the Wim Hof method, this alarmingly weird practice of basically hyperventilation and cold showers, is working wonders in helping me understand the relationship between my mind and my body. It's helping me interpret the signals to understand when the warning signals fire and whether or not those warning signals are correct or whether they're simply fear of the next thing. More about all of that in later episodes, but for now, thanks for listening.